Hello, dear viewers. This is Mbiehuzia Bernard, a teacher of integrated science at Kampala Parent School. We are here to serve you as you are in your holidays. You know the reason why we went for these holidays, it is because of COVID-19 pandemic. I advise you to always sanitize your hands. Whenever you get you touch some surfaces, try to sanitize your hands. Wash your hands with clean water and soap. I've developed some 2 mnemonics which have helped me, which I'm using to help my children not to get COVID-19. And one of the mnemonic is men, but I am going to write it vertically, men. Now, men is reminding us of some sensitive parts which you should always avoid to touch, because as we touch, then the virus can enter through those sensitive parts. Men, M stands for mouth. Mouth is one of the sensitive parts where coronavirus enters the body. So this one is mouth. Everyone repeat, mouth. Good. Then we have another sensitive part, the eyes. Very sensitive. Don't touch them with your dirty hands. Then we have nose. Don't scratch your nose. Don't touch your nose anyhow. You may get COVID-19. Then we have another word which is very common at home. Your mothers. I have the word women. Women. And each letter stands for a word, and I want us to always remember these letters. W stands for wash your hands. I'm not going to write these words. These are simple words which you should be able to write. Wash your hands all the time. Then O, obey directives, obey orders from the Ministry of Health, from the President, from our elders. Then this one, M, move away from crowded places. Then E, exercise regularly. But remember, you have to exercise indoors. Then lastly, no shaking, no hugging. Once we practice that, we shall not get any problem. So I'm here to take you through integrated science. And I know before you went for this holiday, a number of topics had been covered, including skeletal-muscular system, electricity and magnetism, resources in the environment, then simple machines and friction. I know most of you had started on simple machines and friction. Some of you have reached in the middle, others have not started. So we are starting on that new topic, simple machines and friction. So I'm going to write our topic today, that is simple machines and friction. Everyone, can you repeat after me? Everyone watching, say simple machines and friction. Wow. Now, we are going to write some words. Those words are the ones that we shall be using when handling this topic. I want you to get a pencil, a piece of paper, or even a pen, and we are going to write these words together. After that, we shall check, and I will find out people have written the correct words. The first word I want you to write in your book is work. Another word, force. Yes, I can see some people writing. Thank you so much. People who have not started, please get your pens and write. Then another word is simple. Simple. Then complex. Complex. Then we have the word friction. Friction. Yes, I can see someone there is writing. I have seen Kwikiriza. You are writing. Thank you so much. We have the word gravity. Then the next word is inertia. Inertia. We have the word wage. 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 Then we have the word momentum. Yes, those are the words, and we are going to mark together. I'm going to write the words on the board. Then we shall mark ourselves. You are going to get a pencil, or I know you have pencils. Get a pencil and we mark together. So we have our new words here. New words. So our first word is work. Write the word work. Work. Everybody say work. Work. Can we spell the word work? Wonderful. W-O-R-K. Work. And don't put a full stop. It's a single word, so there is no need of putting a period at the end. Another word, we said we have the word simple. Right? No, force. Force. Everyone say force. Any person from P7 who can spell the word force? Yeah, I can see you are trying to spell. Thank you so much. Force. Number 2 is here. Force. Great. The next word. Who can remind of the third word? If you remember properly. Yes, simple. 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 Correct. The next word is complex. 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 Can everyone say complex? Boys, where you are, say complex. Girls, say complex. Great. Then we said we have another word, friction. Friction. Everybody say friction. Again. Again. Wow. So the word friction, I can see someone has passed it. Friction. F-R-I-C-T-I-O-N. Friction. That's great. Then we also had another word, gravity. Who can spell the word gravity? Wow, I can see your lips saying G-R-A-V-I-T-Y. Great. Gravity is another word we have. Which other word did you write? Inertia. I can see someone is pronouncing it as inertia. It's not inertia. The word is inertia. Say inertia. Inertia. Good. Inertia is I-N-E-R-T-I-A. Inertia. Great. Inertia, I'm going to talk about it briefly. Then we also have the word wage. 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 Yes, the word wage is written like this. I know there are some other words you have ever seen this word wage. This is something different. Wage. This is something, money or something paid to a worker. The amount of money, the package given to a worker at the end of the month or a certain period is a wage. But in this case, we have this word wage. Can you spell the word wage? W-E-D-G-E. Wage. Then we have the word momentum. Momentum. Yes, then lastly, we have the word liver. Liver. Liver, not the other organ in your body, not the other liver Daddy buys over the weekend for you to enjoy. This is something else. Liver, we are going to look at it. Yes, briefly, work is any activity a person does. Anything we do, I can use, for example, this tool to cut, I will be doing work. I can use a wheelbarrow to carry manure, I will be doing work. So work is any activity a person does. Then force. Force is the push or a pull of something. That is a force. We are going to look at examples of forces. So we have the force. Then we have the word simple. Simple, as the name suggests, simple. Something which is very easy. Something which is very convenient to use. We say it is simple. Something which is simple. Then complex. Now complex becomes the opposite of simple. If something is not simple, it is complex. When something is complex, it means it is not very easy to use. It is made of very many things. Complex. Some other people use the word complicated to mean the word complex. So another word we can use to mean complex is complicated. Then friction. Friction is the force. It is an example of a force that opposes movement. Whenever objects are moving, there is always a force between the points of contact, and that is friction. We are going to talk about friction in detail. Then we have gravity. Gravity is also another example of a force. That force is the one which makes all objects thrown in air to come back to the ground. For example, if I get this duster and I throw it up, instead of continuing up, there is a force which says, please go back to the ground. It doesn't want anything up. It wants all of them to go back to the center of the earth. That is the force of gravity. When you are riding a bicycle uphill, you find it difficult because there is a force of gravity opposing you, telling you, please don't come up, go back. That is the force of gravity. Then we have the force of inertia. Inertia, I know most of you have experienced this, except that you did not have the word inertia in your vocabulary. Inertia is a force which wants moving objects to continue moving and things which are resting to remain in the state of rest. For example, I know most of you use cars. You move in cars, you move in maybe you're on a bicycle. So, for example, someone is driving, all of a sudden, maybe sees an obstacle. The person will brake the car instantly. As the car is braked, you have already seen your head being pushed forward like this. The car has stopped, but the head is almost hitting the other people or the seats in front. It is the force of inertia which says, since you have been moving, continue in that state of motion. Then sometimes the car can be moving slowly, all of a sudden someone over-accelerates. Then you see your head bending backward. What is causing that? Inertia at rest. Inertia says, if you have been resting, remain in the state of rest. If you have been moving, continue in uniform motion. That is the force of inertia. We shall talk about that in detail. Wedge. Wedge. Everybody say wedge. Boys, wedge. Everyone say wedge. Yes. Now, a wedge, who knows the meaning of the word wedge? Oh, is it a new word? A wedge is any tool or any machine that is used for cutting or splitting. For example, I have some examples of wedges. This is a wedge. It is a panga. I use it for cutting. I use it for splitting. So because this is a tool that has a sharp edge for cutting or splitting, we call it a wedge. So wedges, in short, are cutting or splitting tools. We shall look at more examples of wedges. Then we have the word momentum. Everybody say momentum. Boys, good, momentum. Everybody, momentum. I like the way you are participating. I can see someone is smiling. I've already told you that science is an appetizer at every meal. Whenever you are doing science, always put on a smile. And I can see some people are enjoying. Good, momentum. It is the force which changes the direction of any moving object. Momentum. We shall talk about momentum in the next lesson. Then we have the word lever. Everybody? Everybody? I want someone to use these two words in a sentence to show that he or she knows the difference in meaning. We have two words. Lever, lever. They are pronounced the same, but the spelling is different, and even the meaning is different. Lever, lever. Who can use the first word? Oh, very good. This one is telling me that the liver is a body organ that produces bile juice. Wonderful. This boy knows will become a doctor, I think. What's the way he's answering? The liver is an organ that produces bile juice. Correct. What about this one? Wow. A pair of scissors is an example of a liver. So a liver, in short, is a machine, is a tool, whereas this LI, it is the organ, the body organ. Are we together? How many people enjoy eating liver? Oh, wow. I also like it. Tomorrow I'm going to buy a kilogram and I'm going to enjoy. Wonderful. So after writing those words, I want us to be honest to ourselves and give ourselves marks. If you have got 10 out of 10, with a pencil, write here and say 10 out of 10. And whoever has got 10 out of 10, give yourself a very good comment. Fabulous. Fabulous. A person who has got 10 out of 10, we are giving the comment Fabulous. Fabulous. What about 9 out of 10? Wow, I can see Nyakato has got 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for you. You can get your very good. Very good. Anybody who got less than that? Oh, someone got 8, which is good, because that is still a distinction when you are to get 80%. So there you can give yourself good. Then any person who got less than this, give yourself improve on your spellings. I like the way you are spelling the words. Now, children, after looking at that spelling exercise, we are here to continue from where we stopped. I told you that we do different activities in our environment, in our daily life. And we said all those daily activities, when we combine them together, we get one word, work. Work. It is very good to work, because once you work, you become successful, you earn a living. And that's how you will be even able to get your daily bread, daily food. Now, whenever we are doing work, sometimes we use our hands, we use our feet, we use our teeth, we use different parts of the body. But there are some activities in the environment, children, which you cannot do with your hands. Or if you are to try using your hands or teeth, doing work becomes very difficult. For example, someone gives you a tree and tells you, you go and cut that tree. Then you go with your hands, with your fingers, your teeth. How many of you can cut a big tree using hands or teeth? Hey, I can sit there and say, yeah, for me, I cannot manage. Even me, I cannot. At home, you want to cook food. Mommy gives you firewood that starts splitting. I want to cook. How many people will use hands to split wood? It is not easy. I like that response. It is not easy. Now, there are some things in the environment which we use to simplify our work. Instead of using these mere hands and any other part of the body to do the work, we use some other tools. And those tools which we use to simplify our work are called machines. Everybody say that. Machines. Again, machines. Where are the boys? Machines. I like the boys. You have vigor. What about the girls? Machines. Wonderful. Now, I'm going to show you some of them. Machines. So we have this one here is a machine. Who can tell us the name of this machine? A panga. Wonderful. It's a panga. And I know each and every home has a panga. You may be having the panga, but you have never seen it. Ask mommy, where is the panga? Mommy will show you the panga. We have some other examples. Can you mention others? Yes. Correct. This one is telling me an axe. This one here. This is an axe. This axe, once you are to cut a tree, once you get this axe, cutting becomes very easy. So this axe is a machine. What else? A car, correct. For example, if I'm to move from here to Mbarara and I'm to use my feet, it is very difficult. But once I board the bus, it becomes very easy. So a bus is a machine. You can name others. What about you? A bicycle, correct. What about you? Correct. A pair of scissors. I have some here. A pair of scissors. These scissors are machines. When it comes to cutting, once you have a pair of scissors, you will not find problems. What else? Correct. Someone is telling me a spade. Yes, here is a spade. A spade is also a machine. If you are to load sand, for example, or manure on a wheelbarrow or on a truck, it will be very easy to load using a wheelbarrow than using hands. So a spade is an example of a machine. We have others. This one here, we have a local bicycle which was done by some children of my class in P7. This is the machine. It is a bicycle. And we used this bicycle when I was teaching them how a dynamo works. This one is a dynamo which you already see on some bicycles. They made the bicycle, so this machine, now it simplifies work. If you have such a bicycle at home, it is very easy to move from one place to another. And nowadays, bicycles now are the ones that is making the transportation of people in Uganda very easy. So all those are machines. Now, Out of those machines, so before that, let me first write the definition of the word machine. So we are saying that a machine is a tool that simplifies work. Everybody, what's a machine? Everybody, I've not heard what's a machine? Good. A machine is a device that simplifies work. Yes, if you don't want to use the word tool, we can also use another word, device. A machine is a device that simplifies work. What's a machine, everybody? Good. Now, machines are further divided into two groups. There are some machines, for example, this panga. This panga is very easy to use. This panga is made up of few parts. This panga does not need any training to be used. It does not need any special skills to be used. I don't remember any person who has gone to school to learn on how to use a panga, or a person who has a certificate or diploma or degree in the use of a panga. Any person can use it. Even a person who has never gone to school can use a panga. We have another machine, for example, this spade which I have shown you. You cannot go to an institution purposely to learn how to use a spade. Any person can use a spade. A person who has ever gone to school, a person who has never gone to school, or can use a spade without any problem. We have others. I showed you an axe. This axe. For me, when I was young, when I grew up and I was 8 years, I started using a panga. Nobody taught me. I could see mommy using it. Then I also got it and I started using the axe to cut small trees and then big trees when I grew up. So this one is also a machine which does not need any training to be used. A pair of scissors. I've seen children in my class using pairs of scissors to cut different objects. Who has ever gone to school to learn how to use a pair of scissors? Tell me the truth. If you are there, put up your hand, I will be able to see you. Nobody. Someone is saying, I can also use a what? A pair of scissors. That's great. Now, all these machines, children, which simplify our work, they are made of very few parts and they do not require any special skills to be used, are called simple machines. So, machines are grouped into two. There are two types of machines, namely one, we have simple machines. So I've told you simple machines are those machines which are very easy to use, which do not require any special training or skills to be used. We call them simple machines. Then we have some other machines, children, which are not very easy to use, which are made of very many parts, which you need to go to school or you go for some training in order to use them. Can you tell me an example of any machine which you know, that one is very complicated, or that one is very difficult to use? Wonderful. A tractor. A tractor is not a simple machine. Why? It has many parts. It is not easy to use. It needs some special training to be used. Another one, aeroplane. Oh, wow, aeroplane. For me, I'm good at riding a wooden bicycle. I can ride. But if you tell me that now you go and fly an aeroplane, I'll just kneel before you say, please excuse me, I don't want to perish in the air. I've never used an aeroplane, and to fly an aeroplane, you have to go for special training. In addition, an aeroplane is made of many parts. Therefore, an aeroplane is not a simple machine. It is complicated. A car, correct. All those machines are made of many parts, and in order to use them, you need special training to be used. So those machines, which are made of many parts and require special training to be used, are called complex machines. That's where now this word will come in, complex. So another group of machines is complex machines. Yes. So the difference is that simple machines are made of few parts. They do not require special skills to be used, but then they simplify work. For complex, they are made of many parts. They require special skills to be used. That is the difference between simple machines and complex machines. So examples you have seen. Can you add me more examples of simple machines? Yes, a knife, correct? Correct. Other examples of complex machines? You have brought in a very good example. A sewing machine. I like that. A sewing machine. And you know why this child has said it? Because at his school, this is one of the topics. This is one of the subjects. IPS. This is one of them. Tailoring, needlework. We use this machine. This machine is a sewing machine. It is made of many parts. For example, it has this wheel. It has this rope. It has a needle. It has some other parts which I don't know. Why? I've not learned how to use it. I don't have any skill of using this machine. Therefore, this one is a complex machine. You can't wake up one day and you are given a piece of cloth and then your dad or your mom tells you, go and make a shirt out of this cloth. Go and make a dress. Go and mend this torn shirt of yours. You cannot unless you are trained. So this is one of the examples of complex machines. Even a bicycle itself. Yes, now for you, most of you know how to ride because you have been doing it several times. But you cannot wake up one day and you go on a bicycle and you start riding. No. You have to fall like 10 times. So you need to practice and practice and practice. So a bicycle is another example of a simple, rather of a complex machine. Now, after looking at the groups of machines, we are going to look at how machines simplify work. We have said machines simplify work, but the question is how? How do they simplify work? So we are going to look at how simple machines simplify work. How simple machines simplify work. Underline this. Who can give us one of the ways? How does a simple machine simplify work? Good. That is one. The first one is it increases the speed of work. When you are using a machine, it does the work faster than when you are using bare hands. So, increases the speed or the rate at which work is done. What else? I like that answer. Good. Simple machines change the direction of force. We are going to look at some machines, for example, a pulley. This is a pulley. A pulley is a machine which makes the lifting of objects very easy with the help of a rope. This is a pulley system. Yes, we shall talk about pulleys in detail, but we have one example here of an activity at school where these pulleys are applied when raising flags on flag poles. You tie a piece of cloth here, then you use a rope, you pull. You see, you pull. As you pull downwards, the load moves upwards. This is the load, this is the effort. So it changes the direction of the load force. As you apply the effort force downwards, then the load force moves upwards. And when you move upwards, the other one moves downwards. So the direction is changed. And whenever the direction is changed, did you know what happens? Work is done faster and more convenient. That noise you are hearing, it is because of the force of friction which I talked about. The force which hinders movement. So that is a pulley. So a pulley changes the direction of force. So some machines simplify work by changing the direction of force. That's number two. Then what else? Very good. By reducing the effort needed to do the work. When you are using a wheelbarrow to push, for example, manure or harvested crops, you use less effort than the person who will carry manure on the head or in the hands. You use less effort. If you are to carry, for example, 50 bags of cement, putting the bags of cement, or rather 50 bags of cement on the head, it is not possible. But when you put those bags on a machine like a tractor, like a car, like a bicycle or motorcycle, it becomes very easy, so you use less effort. So can we put down those important points? One, the first point, by changing the direction of force. Yes, who remembers point number 2? Okay. By increasing the speed of work. And then lastly, by reducing the effort needed to do the work. Can we read through our answers? How do simple machines simplify work? We are reading together. By changing the direction of force, beautiful. By increasing the speed of work, wonderful. Then by reducing the effort needed to do the work. Now, let me rub off these words. Hope you have mastered all of them. So, I can now remove these words. We shall keep on using these very words. Now, children, remember we defined the word force. And whenever a person is using a machine, whether simple or complex, there are some forces which retard work. You are trying to move very fast, but there is a force which is saying, please, don't move very fast. You are trying to move slowly, a force is saying, please, move very quickly. So we want to look at some of the forces that make work difficult, or forces which hinder work. Forces which hinder work. We mentioned some of them. Who can remind us? Correct. Gravity. The force of gravity is one of the forces. We said this force brings all objects thrown up to come back to the ground. I want my marker to continue very high there, but because of the gravitational force, it cannot allow. When you are pushing a wheelbarrow, for example, if this is a hill, and you are pushing a wheelbarrow uphill, it is very difficult. Why? Whenever you are moved up, you are being opposed by gravity. You are saying, I'm coming up, the force of gravity is saying, please don't come. You are fighting with gravity. That's why whenever you are climbing a hill, whenever you are riding uphill, whenever you are pushing a wheelbarrow uphill, it is very difficult because you oppose the force of gravity. Whenever you oppose gravity, then you use a lot of effort. So gravity hinders work. But again, gravity is good when you are moving down. For example, when you are riding a bicycle downhill, wow, you just hold the bicycle and you forget about each and everything. So the force of gravity will be behind you saying, it's okay, let's move down, let's move down. So whenever you don't oppose gravity, gravity will help you and will use less effort. But when you try to move up, you will be opposing gravity and will use a lot of effort. Then, another force which hinders work, there is a force we mentioned. Who remembers? Wow, friction. Friction. The force of friction hinders work. For example, if I'm to push this table, you can see it cannot move very fast because between the table and the floor, there is frictional force which hinders movement, which retards movement. Even when you are walking, there is friction between your foot and the ground. The cars, when cars are moving, there is always friction force. So friction hinders work. And sometimes we refer it as a nuisance force. Why? It's a nuisance because it has some dangers it poses or it causes to surfaces. For example, it makes objects produce unnecessary noise, like you are opening the door, then you hear the hinges making some noise. Even when I was trying to use this machine here, I don't know whether you remember, you could hear some noise. if you are very keen, you must have heard some noise. There is a force in the moving parts, and that is caused by the force of friction. So friction is a nuisance force. It causes tear and wear of objects. You are using a car tire. After some time, the treads which make a vehicle firm on the ground, they keep on reducing. Your shoe soles, you buy your shoe when the sole is there, but it keeps on reducing because of this force of friction. Then another force is, that one is not a common one, it is called air resistance. Air resistance. Air resistance is a force which is produced by air, which now slows down all falling objects. For example, when I drop this paper from this point and I say, you paper, move down. Instead of going directly to the ground, you'll see it delaying in air, meaning there is an upward force within the air which slows down all falling objects. For example, check this. Instead of coming straight to the ground, it is dancing in the atmosphere. You see, there is an upward force, and whenever we are doing our work, air resistance sometimes retards our work. Air resistance. Then another force is what we have talked about: inertia. Inertia force. Inertia force wants objects which are moving to continue moving. So when you try to stop, inertia now keeps on pushing things in front. When you decide to move, it pushes things backward. So at the end of the day, you'll find that it is very difficult for you to do the work. So these are some of the forces. There are others, like people who work in water. There is an upward force called upthrust. Upthrust force. Upthrust force. Another name for upthrust force is called buoyancy. Everybody say buoyancy. Buoyancy, yes. Buoyancy force. So buoyancy is the force which reduces the weight of all objects partially or wholly immersed in water. So if you are carrying, for example, objects and you are in water, objects become lighter. So you cannot know exactly what you are doing. So for now, we can talk about these forces. Can we read them together, everybody? Force of gravity, which you can also call gravitational force. Friction, correct. Everyone read this. Air resistance, wonderful. Inertia, everybody say inertia. Inertia 3 times. Inertia, inertia, inertia. Can you spell the word inertia? I-N-E-R-T-I-A. Inertia. Now, then lastly we have upthrust force. Everybody, upthrust force. What is another name for upthrust force? Buoyancy. Yes, buoyancy. It is almost pronounced like the word boy. Boy. But here there is you. The pronunciation remains the same. Boy, buoyancy. Yes, can we use the word buoyancy in a sentence? Who can use the word buoyancy in a sentence? Wow. Buoyancy force makes objects weightless in water. Wonderful. Now, after looking at these important points, I know most of you have been following, if not all. But I say at least the majority you are paying attention. I'm going to give you a simple exercise, which you are going to write in your books, and then you answer them. After answering them, I'll come another time and I'll give you the responses. After that, we shall see the person will have got each and everything. I wish you the best. I'm going to write the numbers here. Make sure you are very keen. You write the questions the way I'm going to put them on the board. Give any 2 ways simple machines simplify work. Mention any 2 ways simple machines simplify work. Next number. Give the meaning of the following terms. Give the meaning of the following terms. So the first term is complex machines. B, simple machines. Number 4, state any 2 examples of simple machines. Those, how many numbers are those? This is 1, now 2, 3, because we shall mark out of 10, those are 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 3 more questions, or 4 numbers. Another question. Why is it easier to push a wheelbarrow downhill than uphill? Last but not least, mention any 2 machines, no, any 2 forces that make work difficult. So I'm repeating the questions from number 1. Make where you don't understand, you can put up your hand and I will be able to see you. The first question, what's a simple machine? Another question, give any 2 ways simple machines simplify work. Give the meaning of the following terms. The first term, complex machines. The second term, simple machines. Then state any 2 examples of simple machines. We have seen all these. Why is it easier to push a wheelbarrow downhill than uphill? Then lastly, mention any 2 forces that make work difficult. So this exercise will be marked out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9, 10. It will be marked out of 11. It's okay, no problem. I expect each and every person to get these answers. And the next time I come here, we shall answer these questions together, and you are free to ask questions. We shall tell you how you will be able to ask your questions, then we shall be able to answer whatever you have.
To participate, send a short WhatsApp video of yourself asking the teacher a question about the topic to 0705 031 609.
We love you. Stay tuned on NTV. We shall be giving you all the subjects, all the lessons will be given to you. Thank you so much. God bless you. I remain Mbiehuzia Bernard, science teacher, Kampala Parent School.